Welcome race fans here to the Daytona International Speedway as the most anticipated weekend here in stock car racing continues with the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. The long winter break is over and 42 of the best stock car racing drivers will battle it out here for 48 laps around the high banks of Daytona. Over 200,000 fans from all over the world gather here to witness the start of the 2020 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season. It is the 62nd running of the Daytona 500. Hello everyone, I'm Eric Burton here in the broadcast booth. Happy to have you along with us as we're going to deliver you full coverage of today's Daytona 500. These drivers and teams have spent the past 2 weeks here in Daytona Beach, Florida, preparing their cars, trying to get them ready for this big race. It is a picture-perfect Sunday afternoon as we are gearing up for the start of the Daytona 500 with Team Penske on the front row. 1 week ago today, last Sunday, second-generation driver Ryan Blaney took his Menards Ford Mustang and put it on the pole for the Daytona 500 next to his championship-winning teammate Brad Keselowski, still poised to win his first 500. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., known for his aggressive restrictor plate driving, will be rolling off third on the grid alongside Jimmy Johnson in his final Daytona 500. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. As we exit Daytona later tonight, we head out west to begin the West Coast swing with the newly revamped schedule. For 2020, we head to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for round number 2 of the year, followed by Auto Club Speedway, Phoenix International Raceway, and then we will return to the East Coast and head to the rough surface of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Daytona is known for being the big equalizer because of the draft you can get from other cars, and sometimes it produces finishes for teams and drivers that you don't normally get to see on a weekly basis. Ryan Sieg proved that theory to be accurate as the family-owned organization led by Ryan's dad, Rod Sieg, won yesterday's NASCAR Racing Experience 300 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Will we see another Cinderella story here today? We're about to find out as we send it down trackside for opening ceremonies.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks.
Drivers, start your engines!
And now the pace car will lead the field onto the track. For the pace lap down below, your starting grid will appear, allowing you to see where your favorite drivers are going to start here this afternoon. Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski, your front row, followed by Stenhouse and Johnson on row 2, like we already went through in the pre-race. Eric Almirola and Kyle Larson making up row 3. Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Chris Buescher, and Denny Hamlin, your top 10. Running out the field of 42 cars, Brendan Gaughan also making his final Daytona 500, alongside Justin Allgaier, who got a top 5 finish in yesterday's Xfinity Series race. Alright, so now let's take a look at the stage format for today's race at Daytona. Stage 1 and Stage 2 will be 12 laps each, with the final stage being 24 laps. This will give us a total of 48 laps here at Daytona. These cars practiced and qualified during the daytime, but then they raced in their dual races on Thursday at night. Today, though, they'll have a little bit of mixture of both, as we will take the green flag here in stage number 1 under the sun in the daylight. But by the time the checker flag waves, we will be under the lights here at the Daytona International Speedway. How these drivers be able to handle the track temperature changes as the day goes on, about to find out. Pace car about to make that hard, sharp left turn in the pit lane, leaving the field in the hands of the Penske Ford Mustangs of Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. On the front row, coming down to the green flag, and the 2020 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season is underway. Green flag is in the air from Daytona. And a pretty good jump there on the inside lane, led by Ryan Blaney. Blaney will easily clear his teammate Keselowski entering turn number 1. 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. went by the 2 car of Keselowski as well. They're going to be able to clear the 2 car off turn number 2. And you see a big separation from the back of the field. We just got word that the 27 of Reed Sorensen is already off the pace. And we're hearing he has a left rear tire down on the 27 of Reed Sorensen. Looks like he did not get going, and it slowed down the 00 Quinn Houff, Brennan Poole, JJ Yaley, and Brendan Gaughan, and Corey LaJoie as 27 off the pace, as leading lap number 1 will be the 10 of Eric Almirola. Got a nice push from the 14 of Clint Bowyer, and he will lead lap number 1 here in 2020. He may not have that lead for long, as Clint Bowyer now decides he wants a shot at the lead. He's going to go through the middle as Chris Buescher on the bottom with no help from behind. And as soon as I said that, the 18 got down behind the 17. And then he kind of just goes to the inside of Buescher. Buescher slides back up behind Denny Hamlin. Now it's the 18 all alone on the inside of no help from behind. 4 wide back here almost. Brandon Jones to 59. Alex Bowman the 88. Tyler Reddick in the 8. And we can tell that Reed Sorensen didn't make it to pit road with that tire down on the 27. But because we do have 2 stage breaks at the end of stage 1 and 2, Sorensen can get the free pass and get back on the lead lap. Up front, though, it remains to be the 14 of Clint Bowyer. He led the lap last time by, but now he has Denny Hamlin working on his inside as he come off turn number 4. And Bowyer scraping the wall a little bit off turn 4. We saw that quite a bit in yesterday's Xfinity Series race. Cars get right up there right near that outside wall in turn number 3 and 4 and just run out of room. The cars get tight, slide up the track, and end up scraping the wall. And that just hurts the outside groove. Certainly benefits the inside lane, as you saw Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch get by. And now the 18 car leading here off turn number 2. And from that one shot, you saw the blue dot at the top of your screen. That was Reed Sorensen. He is coming off pit road right in front of our leaders. And you can expect him to go another lap down here in just a couple of laps. Maybe even this next lap, as we have about a 36 car pack here being led by the 2 Joe Gibbs Toyotas. Martin Truex now goes to the lead in the 19. Help from Matt DiBenedetto. 88 of Alex Bowman started outside the top 20. He's now worked his way up in here inside the top 5, and he's going for that lead in that 88 car. Help from the 6 of Ryan Newman. And give a call to that black and yellow number 16. That is Justin Haley, driving for the Colleague Racing Team, making their debut as a organization, being pushed by the 1 of Kurt Busch. And Hamlin now getting in the wall. And he's still in the wall coming off turn number 4. Denny Hamlin, can he get off the wall? He does. And the 2 is making contact with the 48. And there goes Chase Elliott around. Contact for Elliott and Daniel Suarez. He gets involved. And at the line, it would be the 88 of Alex Bowman. At the line, he will be your leader, as the first caution of the day is out here on lap number 6. Ryan Newman will be second, followed by Martin Truex Jr., Justin Haley, and Matt DiBenedetto, your top 5. And that caution did come out before they did get around the 27 of Sorensen, so he will remain 1 lap down. And because of this caution, Reed Sorensen will get the free pass and get back on the lead lap. So a big break for the Peachtree City, Georgia native. But the caution came out when we saw the 9 of Chase Elliott spin here off turn number 4. We heard it collected the 24 of William Byron, the 96 of Daniel Suarez. Caution lights are on top of the pace car. We are under yellow. Let's go back and take a look at the first caution of the year here off turn number 4. If you watched yesterday's NASCAR Xfinity Series race here from Daytona, you probably saw that turn 3 and 4 was Calamity Corner, as we saw a lot of accidents take place down in this part of the racetrack. And so far, it's going to be the same here for the Cup guys. You saw the 11 of Denny Hamlin get in the wall. He's scraping the wall, can't get off the wall. And you see Ryan Blaney dives to the inside. And right there behind them, Brad Keselowski gets hit, slides down, and Jimmy Johnson collects the 9 of Chase Elliott. And when Elliott goes around, gets hit again by Keselowski, gets hit by William Byron, and the guy who probably takes the biggest impact, the 96 of Daniel Suarez, in his debut for Gaunt Brothers Racing, gets involved in heavy front end damage on the 96 of Daniel Suarez. Let's go back and get one more replay of the crash, and you see. Let's watch the 2 car. Brad Keselowski, this is really where it will start. And at this point, Hamlin's already just got off the wall. It looks like he got hit by the 48. And they get together, they collect the 9 of Elliott's, and nowhere to go for William Byron. All 3 of the 4 Hendrick Chevrolets were back here. There's Joey Logano. He got away with it. Ryan Preece, 37. Garrett Smithley, 51. And Chase Elliott, certainly not going to be a good start of the year for the Napa number 9 of Chase Elliott. But it was a good start of the year so far for Alex Bowman in the 88. He will be a little when we go back green here in stage number 1. We are back live here at the Daytona International Speedway in the running of the 62nd running of the Daytona 500. Alex Bowman and Ryan Newman, your leaders here on the restart with 3 laps to go in stage number 1. Reed Sorensen got the free pass under the first caution of the day, but all 42 cars remain on track here to try to complete the first stage of the year. 10 season championship points are on the line in this first stage, along with 1 playoff point for whoever wins this stage. Pace car will go back into pit lane. Alex Bowman and Ryan Newman in front row as we get set to go back green. 3 laps to go here in stage number 1. Pretty even start on the front row. The first guy that you see making it 3 wide, the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek. Went down low, but nobody went with him in that 38 car. It remains Bowman and Newman side by side coming off turn number 2. Matt Benedetto now going to the inside, making it 3 wide on the 19 of Truex. Bowman clears Ryan Newman as we are now almost 4 wide back here outside the top 5. It remains Alex Bowman in command, but here comes the 21 of Benedetto and Martin Truex coming up in through the middle lane. 2 laps to go here in stage 1. Martin Truex has been so close to winning a Cup Series race on a restricted plate track, either Daytona or Talladega, but it has yet to happen here so far in his Cup Series career. Almost won the 500 a couple of years ago. Nearly won the July race here a couple of years ago, as well as we are still side by side again with Truex, Benedetto, and Alex Bowman. Behind Benedetto, how about the rookie Christopher Bell in that 95 car? He's up here in the top 5, trying to get some points here in stage 1. At the stripe, the white flag is out here in stage number 1. It's still Bowman and Truex side by side, making a little bit of contact as they go off the turn 1. And Benedetto has more help coming his way. That's Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Joey Logano on the inside. And going to give a little bit of a push to the 21 of Matty D. There's still 3 wide as Bowman edges ahead in turn 3. It's going to be a 3 wide photo finish at the line to complete the first stage of 2020. They come off turn number 4. Bowman nearly scrapes the wall. It's going to be a drag race between the 19 and 21, and at the line, Give it to Matty Benedetto. The 21 of the Benedetto will win stage number 1 right over the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. for Joe Gibbs Racing. And how about Christopher Bell, the rookie out of Levon Family Racing, 3rd for the 95. Kyle Larson will be 4th. And running at your top 5 in stage number 1 will be Alex Bowman in the 88. So that will complete stage number 1 from Daytona. Matt Benedetto is your leader and stage winner, and we'll be back here for stage number 2. Going back to green here from Daytona to begin stage number 2, but we have some bad news for one specific driver in the field. That is the 51 of Garrett Smithley. You see him slow on the apron, the smoke coming out of the hood, out of the tailpipes. The 51 has blown an engine here at the beginning of stage number 2. Rookie Garrett Smithley behind the wheel, making his Daytona 500 debut. Unfortunately, his day will end here on lap number 13 of the Daytona 500. He will bring that 51 Chevrolet down pit lane. So that will be the end of Garrett Smithley here in the Daytona 500, leaving us now with 41 cars here to battle it out with Matt Benedetto and Martin Truex Jr. on the front row to begin stage number 2 from Daytona. And just like stage number 1, stage 2 will be 12 laps here. Matty D on the inside, Martin Truex on the outside. You see Denny Hamlin now making it 3 wide on Toyota teammate Christopher Bell, and he does have help from behind. That's the 4 of Kevin Harvick going on the inside with him in that 4 car. Denny Hamlin, a 2-time and defending Daytona 500 champion, being pushed by Kevin Harvick, who won this race 13 years ago, driving for Richard Childress Racing. And he's going to push Denny Hamlin to the top, to the lead after restarting in 7th place in that 11 car. And to the lead goes Denny Hamlin with Kevin Harvick going into 2nd place. Christopher Bell got back to the inside now in that 95. He's the guy pushing Kevin Harvick now by the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Clint Boyd now 3 wide on the inside of John Hunter Nemechek. Some more guys on the inside. You have Kurt Busch, the 1, Kyle Busch, the 18. There's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47. Bubba Wallace in the 43. And there's still 3 wide. That's Clint Boyer on the inside. He's getting almost alongside the 95 of Christopher Bell, but does not have any help down below behind him in that 14. But he's still going to the lead. Boyer is running that shorter way around the track in the corners, giving him a little bit of momentum, a little bit more extra speed as he will go to the lead. Help from John Hunter Nemechek. And look at that 38 car. We've seen rookie Christopher Bell up here battling for the lead now. Give it to that 38, John Hunter. Replacing the now semi-retired David Reagan as once again Denny Hamlin scrapes the wall back here. And Martin Truex also in the wall. And he collects Kyle Larson, and the round goes to 42. Caution will come out yet again here off turn number 4. Kyle Larson involved. William Byron gets collected once again. Michael McDowell involved that 34 car. So caution will wave for the 2nd time this afternoon. Again, coming off turn number 4. And it began with Denny Hamlin getting in the wall, as well as his teammate Martin Truex. And you see all the front end damage on the 24 of Byron. See a lot of right side damage on the 6 of Ryan Newman. And they're almost crushing back here. Oh, well, Kyle Larson just ran in the back of Quinn Houff. And look at the damage on the hood of that 42 car. And that 15 of rookie Brennan Poole, also severe damage on the hood of that Bad Boy Mowers Chevrolet. And how about your leader, John Hunter Nemechek? son of current NASCAR driver Joe Nemechek. He still competes here in the top 3 series of NASCAR. John Hunter for Front Row Motorsports is your leader with Kurt Busch and Joey Logano second and third. The second caution is out though. Severe damage for Kyle Larson. Let's go and take a replay of the second caution of the day. Even though Denny Hamlin scraped the wall, he was really nowhere near of what brought out the caution. It would actually be his teammate, Martin Truex Jr., getting in the wall. And see, when he's in the wall, Kyle Larson tries to go by and squeeze through the middle, but just ran out of room and collects Ryan Newman, Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece getting a little bit of damage. So did Jimmy Johnson, Eric Jones, Brennan Poole, William Byron. So that is what brought out the caution. But let's go back and take one more look. Larson trying to go through the middle. They're 4 wide at this point. Yes, Eric Almirola below him with Corey LaJoie on the bottom of the track. So they're 4 wide. They're going to run out of room. Right there from the helicopter view, Larson gets turned, gets hit by Newman. Oh, Justin Haley did a nice job sneaking through there in that 16 car. See Brennan Poole and William Byron. I actually want to go on board with that 16 of Justin Haley. That was a pretty good way of navigating himself through what could have been a wreck that knocked him out of the Daytona 500. Let's go on board with Justin Haley. There he is behind Ryan Newman. Nice job of the 500 rookie Justin Haley, who won the July race here at Daytona last year under the rain. So, but anyway, that would cause a crash, but you saw them off turn number 2. Kyle Larson, these guys just ran in the back of each other here. A big stock up here off turn number 2. Brennan Poole got some big damage from this. William Byron, Chase Elliott, Ty Dillon, Quinn Houff, and here comes Larson. Runs in the back of the 00. So we're not quite sure how many cars will go behind the wall after this crash, but when we come back to Daytona, we'll have an answer for you here in the Daytona 500. We are back live here at Daytona, getting set for the restart in stage number 2. We will have 5 laps to go with rookie John Hunter Nemechek leading the field here at the Daytona International Speedway. On the outside, veteran driver Kurt Busch for Chip Ganassi Racing. After the caution, William Byron has took his Exalted Chevrolet behind the wall. So did the 42 of Kyle Larson. They will join the 51 of Garrett Smithley, who blew an engine a few laps earlier. So that means we have 39 cars left in the race with Larson, Byron, and Smithley in the garage. Green flag waves once again. We are back on the way here from Daytona. It's Nemechek and Logano on the inside. Getting a nice jump there. And Logano already wasting no time. He goes to the inside for the lead in that number 22 car. Logano has yet to lead a lap here this afternoon, but so far trying to change that as he has the 14 of Clint Boyer on his bumper. Coming off turn number 2. In the turn number 3 they go. That's Cole Custer, that 41 car 3 wide. Denny Hamlin in the middle. There's Matty Benedetto, stage 1 winner. A little bit of contact there by Tyler Reddick and Cole Custer. Take a look further back here. A lot of these cars have some pretty good damage. Chase Elliott, Brennan Poole, Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez. As Kevin Harvick has now went to the lead in that 4 car with Kyle Busch on his inside. Kyle Busch had been so close to winning the Daytona 500. He almost won this race last year, but ended up runner-up to teammate Denny Hamlin. Can this be the year Kyle Busch finally goes to victory lane in the Great American Race? He won the Busch Clash last Saturday night. As we're 3 wide, how about Cole Custer on the bottom? We've seen Christopher Bell and John Hunter Nemechek up here. Now we got Cole Custer taking his turn up towards the front for Stewart Haas Racing. And he has help from Denny Hamlin. How about Jimmy Johnson? That 48 car, we saw him get a little bit of damage after that first caution. Brad Keselowski also got some damage in the first caution of the day. In stage 1, he's up here on the inside. He is by no means out of this race yet in that 2 car. Kurt Busch leading the groove in the middle lane, and now here comes his brother Kyle joining him in the middle lane, as it'll be Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson for the lead here on lap with 2 laps to go here in stage 2. And now Alex Bowman on the inside. How about Ryan Preece? That 37 car, he was another car like Johnson who was able to get his way, make his way through that second caution, and he's up here pushing Ryan Blaney to the lead in the middle. Well, he was. Now he dives to the inside, gets behind a fellow Chevrolet driver, Alex Bowman. And oh, here we go again. We saw Kurt Busch scraping the wall up here in turn 3. De Benedetto gets by. Can Cole Custer? He gives him a little bit of room. Looks like Custer may have got out the gas to give Kurt Busch a chance to save it, as Logano is around on the front stretch. Caution will wait once again. Reed Sources collected. Tyler Reddick and Daniel Suarez. Nowhere to go. Rear ends the 32 of Corey LaJoie. The caution is out once again. And Daniel Suarez has already been teleported to pit lane, and that will pretty much end the 96 shot at a win. As we are side by side, they're racing back to the line to see who will win stage number 2. It's Ryan Preece on the inside, Alex Bowman on the outside. And how about the JTG Dirty Racing Chevrolet? Ryan Preece wins stage number 2 at Daytona, with Brad Keselowski coming up to finish in second in the 2 car. Heavy damage on the 32 of Corey LaJoie. Joey Logano involved, Justin Allgaier, Tyler Reddick. So we are under yellow once again after another crash, this time on the front straightaway. And I believe it began with the 22 and the 27, Logano and Sorensen. But Ryan Preece wins stage number 2. Let's take a look at the replay of what brought out the 3rd caution of the day. Well, coming up turn 4, coming to the white flag in this stage, we saw them 4 wide outside the top 20, and back here Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick getting into each other and just can't get off one another, and there they go in the outside wall right in front of John Hunter Nemechek. And look at the impact by Suarez into LaJoie. Bubba Wallace back here, Brennan Poole. And Logano was one of the guys who was certainly a favorite to win this race. But it looks like his second Daytona 500 win will not come today. Here they are again. They're 4 wide, almost 4 wide, but just Logano just crowded Tyler Reddick up into the outside wall. There was nothing Tyler Reddick could do. Not sure what was going on with the 22, because he had some room to get a little bit further down the track. And then Daniel Suarez, because of the smoke, could not see where he was going. Right in the back of Corey LaJoie. Hard hit by the Coca-Cola Toyota of Daniel Suarez. But we did have a big surprise in stage 2. Just like stage 1, Ryan Preece, your stage 2 winner. He'll get 1 playoff point added to his championship bucket here in 2020. The final stage of the Daytona 500 begins here with Ryan Preece and Brad Keselowski on the front row, as stage number 3 about to get underway under the lights here from Daytona. During the break, the 32 of Corey LaJoie and the 96 of Daniel Suarez have taken the cars behind the wall. They will join Larson, Byron, and Smithley out of the race, as Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski, your front row. We are back underway. And something I do want to point out, because we did not mention it before we went to break, Two drivers you got top 10 finishes in stage 2. How about David Reagan and J.J. Yaley getting top 10 finishes? In fact, David Reagan got a top 5 as we got contact. Reagan and Kyle Busch off the track, and they save it. What a save by David Reagan and Kyle Busch. They save those cars and keep from causing a big one there in turn number 1. I don't know how in the world they saved it. But Bowman, Priest, and Keselowski, first, second, and third, with Ryan Blaney now coming on the inside of Alex Bowman off turn number 4. And that incident with David Reagan and Kyle Busch certainly hurt both of those drivers, and they have certainly hurt a lot more as well. Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola all leading this pack back here. All 4 of the Stewart-Haas cars are nose to tail: Almirola, Custer, Boyer, and Harvick. So they've been a dinner getting back with David Reagan, so that 52 car certainly getting turned all different ways. And we're just 2 laps into this stage here from Daytona. 23 laps to go in the Daytona 500. As we're 3 wide up here, Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Blaney. How about that 59, Brandon Jones, making his Cup Series debut for Levon Family Racing. In fact, both of their drivers, Brandon Jones and Christopher Bell, are making their Cup Series debut here in the Daytona 500. Not just their first start in the Great American Race, but their first start in the Cup Series. And it's coming here on the high banks of Daytona. Now we're 3 wide. Denny Hamlin on the inside, trying to take the lead away from the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. And here comes this big pack of cars back here. They're going to swallow up the 54 of Rick Ware Racing's J.J. Yaley, who's having a strong run. He got some stage points in stage 1, so a great run so far by the 54 of Yaley. Ryan Priest getting the wall off turn 4 as well. Denny Hamlin on the inside, Bowman in the middle, and Jimmy Johnson up top. So far, Alex Bowman has led the most laps here this afternoon. Appears to have one of the strongest cars in that Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Chevrolet certainly stepping up to be a full-time primary sponsor for Alex Bowman in that 88 car after Nationwide Insurance left the team after 2019. And these cars back here have certainly caught the lead pack. Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex, and more contact. Brandon Jones got in the back of the 48 of Jimmy Johnson as we're 4 wide off turn 4. Clint Boyer, Kurt Busch in the middle, Cole Custer on the bottom, Brad Keselowski up top. And it's the 2 car getting in the wall along with 37 of Ryan Priest. So looks like Ryan Priest have probably got the worst of it, though. He is dropping like a rock here on the outside lane. Both of these stage winners, De Benedetto and Priest, find themselves outside the top 20. While up front now we have the 19 going for the lead, Martin Truex Jr. as here comes Almirola, 3 wide for the lead. Eric Almirola on the inside, Martin Truex in the middle, Kevin Harvick up top in the 4. It'll be 19 laps to go for Eric Almirola, who trying to get some redemption after getting crashed out of the lead by Austin Dillon a couple of years ago in 2018. And now Jimmy Johnson, the 48 in the middle, trying to get on the inside in front of the 54 of J.J. Yaley. Back here, the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. There's been a lot of talk about, Jimmy Johnson making his final Daytona 500. So is Brendan Gaughan in that 62 car. Because after Talladega in October, Brendan Gaughan will hang up the helmet and we'll call it a career for Brendan Gaughan. Same could be said tonight for David Reagan. Does not know what his future holds after this race, driving for Rick Ware Racing, which is a prepared Ford Mustang by Bob Jenkins at Front Row Motorsports. Back here, Reed Sorensen got his lap back in stage 1. He's 31st. Ryan Priest has fell to 32nd. Justin Allgaier 33rd. Bubba Wallace 34th. Michael McDowell 35th. Joe Logano 36th. And Brendan Poole in 37th place. Those are the cars left in the race. 5 drivers out of the Daytona 500, as the 48 now going on the inside, going to the lead. Help from the 19 of Martin Truex. Side by side, Jimmy Johnson on the inside, Kevin Harvick on the outside. That's Al Morella in the middle with help from his teammate Clint Bowyer in the 14. Then you have the second pack back here, led by the 59 of Brandon Jones. There's Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Chris Buescher, Ty Dillon, Eric Jones. Justin Haley's back here, Ryan Newman, Brad Keselowski. A lot of fast cars still here outside the top 10 as Kevin Harvick is off the pace. Looks like Kevin Harvick may have gotten in the wall off turn number 2 because he just slowed way down. Yeah, you see the right side damage on the 4 Harvick. He gets it going, but that right there just hurts these guys yet again because they were trying to chase down this lead pack up here, and they were chasing him down. Again, right there, Kevin Harvick got in the wall, and that certainly is going to hurt these guys who's back here outside the top 20. Quinn Howe from the 00, Brendan Gaughan 62. Coming about, it'll be 15 laps to go next time by, and right now it is all Eric Almirola in front of the field. It is a 6-car breakaway with Almirola, Bowyer, Johnson, Truex, Hamlin, and Blaney. We saw this in the second dual race on Thursday night, where 5 or 6 cars just completely pulled away from everybody else. And I believe that 48 car and the 11, Johnson and Hamlin, were 2 of the cars who were in that 6-car pack who drove away from everybody else. So far, it's been Alex Bowman and Jimmy Johnson, the 2 dominant cars of the day. And the 00 goes off track, and they're 4 wide back here. This is going to get tight, and there goes the 20 around. Eric Jones is around, takes out the 3 of Austin Dillon. Ryan Newman spinning in the grass. And that will bring out the caution for the 4th time today, not including the stage breaks, and it will be the 48. Jimmy Johnson. With 14 laps to go, the caution will come out yet again. It'll be Johnson and the 14 of Clint Bowyer. The front row for the next restart. See the front end damage on the 6 of Ryan Newman. I don't believe it was really that big of a crash. Just Eric Jones. You see the rear end damage on the 20. Cole Custer has some pretty good left side damage in the 41 car. And looks like hopefully they don't run in the back of each other back here. And they do. Oh, they do again. Bubba Wallace, 43 of Bubba Wallace. Got some pretty big damage in this checker back here. Not sure why they're doing that. I have to think maybe some oil is down on the track or some debris on the tires. Certainly not sure why that was happening, but Jimmy Johnson is your leader. Let's take a look at the replay. This is certainly the longest green flag run of the day, but you see the 21 on Matty Benedetto get into the 00 of rookie Quinn Howe. This is coming off turn number 2, and we're going to slow it down a little bit for you as there's a contact. The Benedetto comes back up the track, and the helicopter view is going to show the best angle when Howe comes back up the track. Look at this 5 wide when Quinn comes back up on the track, gets into the Benedetto. And it looks like the right rear of Quinn Hough's car is going to hit the 20 of Eric Jones when he comes back up the track trying to merge. And gets into Eric Jones, sends him up into Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Cole Custer, Ryan Newman. Really not really a big crash, and although Ryan Newman and Austin Dillon got some good damage, so did Christopher Bell. But really the biggest loser in this mess was Ryan Newman. Look at that 5 wide. And Austin Dillon also got some pretty good rear end damage as well. That was what brought out the caution, but the big story was what happened when they came off turn number 2. We saw this. This is the 2nd time this has happened this afternoon. And Bubba Wallace, watch him. He runs right in the back of Allgaier. And a lot of these guys ran in the back of each other, but Bubba Wallace has taken his car behind the wall, his STP Chevrolet, because of this pileup off turn number 2. Wallace got through that crash. He was going to be okay, but because of that checkup, Bubba Wallace will be going behind the wall, and his Daytona 500 is done here with 12 laps to go. Back live here at Daytona, will be 10 laps to go here in the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. And right now, 7-time champ Jimmy Johnson is the leader, looking to win his 3rd and final Daytona 500 in his final attempts. Will that happen tonight? Clint Boyer on the outside of the front row in the 14. Eric Almirola on row 2 with Denny Hamlin. Running out your top 5, Martin Truex Jr. in the 19. Coming down to the green flag, we are back underway from Daytona. 10 laps to go in the Daytona 500. And a nice jump on the inside by the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Clint Boyer did not get going at all. Here comes 11 on Denny Hamlin on the inside. Kurt Busch in the 1 car coming up through the middle. Kyle Busch on the inside. Ryan Blaney up top. And here comes Almirola to the inside off turn number 2. Door to door for the lead between Almirola and Johnson. And remember, a win today would put you in the playoffs for 2020 as well as the All-Star race at Charlotte Motor Speedway in May. Almirola knows that, so does Kurt Busch. And Almirola is going to go to the lead here off turn number 4. But Kurt Busch has other thoughts. He goes 3 wide for the lead. In the tribal they go. 9 laps to go at Daytona, and it's Johnson, Almirola, and Busch side by side for the lead. Older brother Kurt Busch getting pushed by his younger brother Kyle, and they are going to go to the top. Kurt Busch will clear the outside lane of Johnson. Here comes Kyle Busch now on the inside in the 18 car. That's the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., one of the most aggressive drivers here at Daytona and Talladega. Former winner here in the July race back in 2017 for Jack Roush. Up here pushing Kyle Busch to the lead in the 47. Still 3 wide again. It's the Busch brothers and Eric Almirola in the middle in the 10. Back here, Matty Benedetto, Quinn Houff. What a great run by Quinn Houff in that 0-0 for Starcom Racing. We saw him kind of trigger that crash on the back straightaway not too long ago, and here he is still up here inside the top 20 with Brendan Gaughan, Justin Haley, David Reagan, and JJ Yaley. There's John Hunter Nemechek, Parker Kligerman. We haven't talked about Kligerman today, driving that 77. Last time that 77 was at Daytona, they were in victory lane with Justin Haley. And Yaley scraping the wall off turn 4 in the back. 3 wide up front again, and this time it's Stenhouse on the bottom, help from Ty Dillon in the 13. 7 laps to go from Daytona. Eric Almirola leading the outside lane. Kyle Busch in the middle. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the bottom. And with these guys running 3 wide, that's certainly brought the 0-0, the 52, the 8, the 38 all to the lead pack now. There's Brandon Jones going in on the inside of Quinn Houff. These 3 guys making their 500 debuts. Jones, Houff, and Haley. And 4 wide now for the lead. Look at Ryan Blaney coming up through the middle. 4 wide for the lead as they come down the front straightaway. Look at this. 4 wide as Almirola's in the wall. What a move by Ryan Blaney. Made it 4 wide for the lead. And he made it work. He's up here on the outside of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. But he does have Kyle Busch on the outside of him, though, putting him 3 wide in the middle. Give the lead to Stenhouse now. Coming to 5 to go this time by. Talking about Cinderella stories. How about Ty Dillon, that 13 car? He's up here trying to get the lead now. Ty Dillon on the inside. Matty Benedetto in the 21 car. And this time by, it will be Ty Dillon leading here at Daytona. Matty Benedetto now goes to the inside. How about Quinn Houff? Look at that 0-0. Quinn Houff going for the lead at Daytona. 5 laps to go, and it's the rookie Quinn Houff in the middle, replacing Landon Castle at Starcom Racing. And here he is up in the middle with Matty Benedetto on the outside. And this is going to get dicey now. You can tell the intensity is rising. Everybody knows that there's only 4 laps to go here in the Daytona 500. Martin Truex Jr. on the outside. Jimmy Johnson in the middle. Kurt Busch on the inside. And around goes the 21 to Benedetto. Upside down goes the 21. Tumbling down the track in turn number 1. Vicious crash by the 21 of Matty Benedetto. Still tumbling down in the entrance of turn number 1, lands on his 4 wheels, but a big crash has brought out another caution here in the Daytona 500. A scary crash for stage 1 winner, Matty Benedetto. Christopher Bell on pit road as well in the 95. Brendan Gaughan smoking on the inside of the track on the apron. Front end damage on a 38 of John Hunter Nemechek. Ricky Stenhouse involved. Brandon Jones, Clint Boyer, Ty Dillon, Quinn Houff, Denny Hamlin. A lot of cars involved here. I believe the 18 of Kyle Busch has some pretty good front end damage as well in the 18. And it looks like the leader is going to be the 12 of Ryan Blaney. It'll be Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch, Martin Truex, and Jimmy Johnson, your top 4. But a big crash off turn number 4 has put us under yellow for the 5th time today here at Daytona. And we are going to look at the replay from the helicopter view first. You see the Benedetto scraping the wall in the tribal, and right there he comes down on the nose of Ty Dillon, collects Quinn Houff, and just sends that 21 upside down, tumbling down the entire front straightaway almost. And there's Brendan Gaughan, John Hunter, Parker Kligerman, Brad Keselowski just getting through. Christopher Bale gets involved. And look at that 21 still tumbling down here in turn 1. This happened right near the entrance, right near the exit of the pit road is where this crash begun. And Matty D's car lands all the way on the entrance of turn number 1. That was a huge crash by the Wood brothers, number 21. There he is on the outside of what ends up being a 4-wide battle for 3rd place. And that 21 just goes for a wild ride. Kyle Busch involved. And look at the 21. That is just unbelievable. And we did get where the Matty Benedetto did walk away from this accident, so he is okay. This shows the safety of these cars and how the safety has really gotten better over the years as we're going to go on board with a driver of the 21. Luckily, he did land on his 4 wheels instead of being upside down. In turn number 1, he did land on all 4 tires, but the stage 1 winner is done for the night, and he will not go to victory lane here in the Daytona 500. Neither will Christopher Bell, Brendan Gaughan, and many more. We are back live at Daytona, getting set for the restart, and with this being the biggest race of the year, the Daytona 500, with it being under the lights, with all the chaos that we have seen so far tonight, it is only fitting for this finish to be a 2-lap dash. We are in overtime here at Daytona. We are past scheduled distance. So what was a 48-lap race will become a 50-lap race with Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch, your front row, Martin Truex, and Jimmy Johnson, row 2, Tyler Reddick, Chris Buescher on row 3, Eric Almirola, Cole Custer, Brad Keselowski, and Justin Haley. Your top 10 is we are going to go back green with Ryan Blaney up front. Can he hang on and go to victory lane here at Daytona? Kurt Busch on his outside. And neither Truex or Johnson got a good enough jump on the restart to get on the bumper of the 12-1. As how about Tyler Reddick? 3 wide for third place. Give a call to Tyler Reddick. He has a shot to go to victory lane. Tyler Reddick is a former Daytona winner in the Xfinity Series, and he's up here 3 wide for the lead. Problem is he does not have a whole lot of help, and look at Kurt Busch. He clears Ryan Blaney. Down into turn 3, Kurt Busch looking for a second Daytona 500 win. Martin Truex Jr. now going up into second. They're 3 wide behind Kurt Busch, who scrapes the wall off turn 4. Kurt Busch has a pretty good lead, but is that too big of a lead? He's still scraping the wall here in the tri-oval. And there goes the 10 of Almirola around. Eric Almirola's wrecking in turn number 1. Collects the 18 of Kyle Busch. Here is the battle to race back to the line. This is the battle for the win. 3 wide with Kurt Busch, Martin Truex, and Tyler Reddick. Jimmy Johnson is 4th. Ryan Blaney 5th. J.J. Yaley is 6th. Can Kurt Busch clear the 19? Truex is still there. He's on the inside. They're going to come off turn number 4. Johnson's coming with a nice head of momentum. It's going to be door to door, down to the wire. Kurt Busch on the outside. Martin Truex on the inside. And at the line, it will be Kurt Busch winning his second Daytona 500. And a photo finish with Martin Truex Jr. Kurt Busch is going to victory lane here at Daytona for Chip Ganassi Racing. 10 years ago, Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates won their first Daytona 500 with Jamie McMurray. 10 years later, in that same car, the number 1, they will go to victory lane in the biggest race in stock car racing once again with Kurt Busch behind the wheel. There's Kyle Busch on the apron. Crash on the coming to the white flag right after the white flag was displayed. And we are going to go back and look at the crash here. And we knew it was going to, they were almost 4 or 5 wide. And there's Almirola. And once again, we're going to go to the helicopter view. Almirola gets in Johnson. And right there, Alex Bowman turns Kyle Busch into Almirola, collects Cole Custer. Those 4 cars go together in the outside wall and back down into Reed Sorensen. Look at this pile up. Logano, Newman, Busher, Brennan Poole, David Reagan, Quinn Houff. And there's the 18. That first 500 win will not come today for Kyle Busch. But it is his brother Kurt Busch for Chip Ganassi Racing. He is your Daytona 500 champion for 2020. And he's going to get his second Harley J. Earl Trophy here at the Daytona International Speedway. Here is to finish, able to hold off the 19 of Martin Truex. And once again, Truex so close yet so far, but he will not win his first restrictor plate race today at Daytona. It is all about Kurt Busch and Chip Ganassi Racing. They win the Daytona 500 here at Daytona. How about J.J. Yaley, 6th? Reed Sorensen will come on in the top 10. He is 9th. Justin Allgaier will be 7th. And Eric Jones will also come on with the top 10 in 10th place. So now the cars will come down pit lane, get set for post-race inspection. Let's take a look at the race results here from Daytona. Kurt Busch really went through the top 6, really top 7. Kevin Harvick 8th. There's Eric Jones running out your top 10, with Brandon Jones in his Cup Series debut rounds out the top dozen in 12th place. 13th on back, Michael McDowell 34. Ryan Preece, Stage 2 winner, 14th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 15th. Justin Haley, July winner from Daytona last year, 19th. Ryan Newman completes your top 20. With Alex Bowman, who led the most laps this afternoon in the 88 car, he will end up 24th in that 88. Cole Custer 25th, Kyle Busch 28th. Top 28 did finish the race, even though a lot of them were involved in that crash on the final lap. Then everybody else from 29th on down to 42nd, which was Garrett Smithley, they did not finish. So that will end what has been an incredible week of racing here at the Daytona International Speedway. Speedweeks will finally come to a close here at Daytona, and now we get set to go out west to Las Vegas Motor Speedway to begin the West Coast Swing. That will be next Sunday here on March of 531. But racing does not necessarily begin next on this channel from Las Vegas, because tomorrow, Monday night racing here on this channel, the 2020 season premiere, the ARCA Menards West Series, will kick off from the Orange County Speedway. That will be here tomorrow night on this channel for the ARCA Menards West Series season opener. But Kurt Busch is now a two-time Daytona 500 champion for Chip Ganassi Racing. I'm Eric Burton here from March of 531. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us here for the 62nd running of the Daytona 500. We will see you tomorrow for the Monday night racing at Orange County Speedway, and then we'll head off to Las Vegas Motor Speedway and begin the West Coast Swing here in 2020. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.